Welcome back. With me, I have Aspen Morrow. We're going to be chatting a little bit about mental illness and specifically bipolar disorder. An interesting fact that she brought to my attention is that mental illness is actually the #1 cost here in the United States. So it's a big issue. It's something that we really need to look into. So Aspen, you've had quite a journey. Can you tell me a little bit about what you're diagnosed with and what was going on?
I was a senior in college, majoring in public relations, and just started having a manic episode where I couldn't sleep for days, and then days turned into weeks, and found myself in a little place they call the psych ward.
Yeah.
Very
so
expensive.
You're actually in the psych ward.
I was committed in
Yeah.
1999 for
Yeah.
2 weeks
Yeah.
to get over that
Yeah.
episode. But not a very recommended hotel stay. Very expensive, not 5 stars.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and the most memorable thing about that was when I got out. I went to a psychiatrist in Pocatello,
Yes.
and he tried to tell me what I would be facing with my diagnosis. And he said, you'll be on medications the rest of your life. I was type 1, which was considered severe to have had a hospitalization at
And
that
this is
age.
bipolar disorder, so type
Bipolar,
1.
yeah, bipolar disorder type
Yeah,
1,
yeah.
sorry. And he said, you should consider not having children.
Yeah.
If you decide to take your medication as prescribed, you may or may not be hospitalized, but you most likely will be repeated hospitalizations.
Okay.
And if you can't afford your medications, then disability would probably be there for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
followed that route for several years,
Yeah.
and the medications were worse than the disorder.
Okay,
So at
okay.
one time I was on Zyprexa, Depakote, Paxil, quite a few.
And what kind of side effects were you experiencing from the medications?
Well, Depakote drained the color out of the world,
Yeah.
literally. It turned color to kind of, everything was sepia. It
Yeah.
was gray or black and white or just didn't have much color. It took your emotions away, like any real feeling. There was no happiness, no sadness.
Yeah.
When I got engaged, it was just like going through the motions.
Everything was just monotone
Yeah.
and just flatline.
But what was difficult with that is you couldn't trust how you were feeling.
No.
So, around the time that you would get married, or just, you didn't even know if you loved someone because you didn't know what was real and what wasn't.
If it was the medication or what it was.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it completely changed my personality.
So how did you, from that state, what made you think in another direction? I mean, why did you, because you shifted, I mean, you wanted to take an alternate route.
I was praying for something different, and I found out about a micronutrient, kind of a nutraceutical grade micronutrient formula.
Okay.
And I started taking that in 2002.
Yeah.
And thankfully at the time I had been unmedicated for a while.
Yeah.
I don't recommend medications for everyone, but I certainly don't recommend the unmedicated route. I think
Okay, so you went off medication, and then while you were off medication, you were noticing symptoms, and then you
I found something.
else. Okay.
So I got on the micronutrient formula, and then about 8 years ago, I started reading Nourishing Traditions,
Yeah.
the Weston Price Pottinger Nutrition Foundation,
Yeah.
and the Maker's Diet, Jordan
Oh.
Rubin.
Oh, okay.
And so I didn't change my diet for a long time. I did supplements and ramen and Pepsi. And then
Kill yourself over here, and then nourish yourself over here.
Right,
right. So what, you were talking about the Maker's Diet. I mean, what kind of dietary changes did you make?
if God didn't make it, don't eat it.
Okay. That's simple.
Kind of simple.
Yeah.
I mean, he recommends a few things like fish or pork that you don't eat. My health went to another level when I started Dietary Changes, and then I added in salt.
Okay.
Bipolars,
They need
found
salt.
to be depleted in salt.
So what are some of the nutrients that you would recommend if you would just list them all? What would be the ones that you would list?
A very good multivitamin. I mean, just pharmaceutical grade.
Yeah, yeah.
Vitamins, minerals. The minerals are very key for the brain.
Okay.
The other thing I take is I take a good probiotic. Gut and psychology syndrome.
Okay.
by Dr. Natasha Campbell talks about the gut.
Yes.
About 70% of people with a mental illness have digestive issues.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So a good probiotic and a good omega.
Mm-hmm.
Most people are familiar with the brain omega connection.
Yeah, exactly.
And a Nicetol.
Okay.
It makes people nice.
Yeah, we like nice people. Well, thank you very much, Aspen.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful having you.